Historic royal union. Princess Leonor de Borbón and Prince Christian make history. The world woke up to history today. A story that once seemed like a royal fantasy has now become a breathtaking reality. The heir to the Spanish throne, Princess Leonor de Borbón, and Denmark's Prince Christian have done what no generation before them dared. They have united two of Europe's oldest monarchies, not through diplomacy or treaty, but through love. For centuries, royal unions were symbols of strategy, arranged marriages to strengthen kingdoms and form alliances. But today, in 2025, the story has changed. This is not just a wedding. It's a moment of rebirth, a historic royal union that bridges tradition and modernity, duty and emotion, Spain and Denmark. And yet, no one expected the emotional weight of what unfolded in Copenhagen this morning. It began with silence. The streets around Amalienborg Palace were lined with flags fluttering gently in the Nordic breeze. The air was crisp, charged with anticipation. Across Spain, millions tuned in, families gathered around screens, schools paused lessons, and entire plazas filled with people watching live broadcasts. This wasn't just a royal event, it was a national moment. Then, the music began. The royal procession, solemn, grand, timeless. The Danish royal guards, dressed in deep blue, lined the palace gates, while the Spanish royal standard flew alongside the red and white Danish flag, two symbols that, until today, had never been raised together for such a reason. And then, the doors opened. Princess Leonor stepped out. She wore a gown designed by Spanish couturier Lorenzo Caprile, a masterpiece of heritage and modern elegance. The dress shimmered softly in the morning light, embroidered with motifs inspired by both the Spanish crown and the Danish royal crest. On her head, a tiara once worn by Queen Letizia, her mother, during her own wedding, now reset with Danish pearls, symbolizing unity. The cameras zoomed in, and the world collectively held its breath. Because in that instant, it wasn't just about royalty, it was about emotion, legacy, and the passing of history from one generation to the next. Prince Christian stood at the altar, poised yet visibly moved. His uniform bore the insignias of both nations, a quiet testament to what this union represented. When their eyes met, you could see it, not performance, not protocol, but love, pure and steady. The ceremony began with both families seated together. King Felipe VI of Spain and Queen Letizia sat beside Crown Prince Frederick and Crown Princess Mary. The symbolism could not have been stronger, two dynasties side by side, not divided by lineage, but joined by belief in a shared future. The Archbishop of Copenhagen opened with words that set the tone for the day. Today, two hearts join, and two histories intertwine. From Madrid to Copenhagen, may this love remind Europe that unity begins not in treaties, but in trust. From that moment on, the emotion inside the cathedral was palpable. Leonor's vows were simple, honest, and deeply moving. She spoke softly, her voice trembling only once as she promised to carry both nations in her heart with loyalty, respect, and love. Christian's reply drew a tear from even the most stoic royal watchers. Wherever duty calls us, I will walk beside you, for your light will guide us both. The applause that followed was thunderous. It broke centuries of royal formality, and for once, even protocol bowed to emotion. Outside, the crowd erupted in cheers as the newly married couple stepped out hand in hand. Rose petals, confetti, and flags painted the air. A sea of red, yellow, and white, Spain and Denmark united in celebration. But this moment didn't come easily. For months, European media had speculated endlessly about the approval of the royal families, about Leonor's duties as Spain's future queen, about whether love could overcome protocol. Even insiders doubted it could happen. Yet here they stood, proof that modern royalty could still surprise the world. During the reception, King Felipe gave a speech that will likely be remembered for decades. He said, "A monarch's greatest strength is not their crown, but their courage to love freely." The room erupted in applause, led by Queen Letizia and Queen Mary, two women once compared endlessly by tabloids, now sharing a proud and emotional glance. The dinner was a masterpiece of cultural symbolism. Spanish seafood paella was served alongside Danish smørrebrød. The dessert, an intricate combination of churros and Danish kransekage, reflected the perfect blend of both worlds. As the music played, Leonor and Christian shared their first dance, a graceful waltz, followed by a lively Spanish paso doble. Cameras flashed. The crowd clapped in rhythm. And for a brief, magical moment, royal tradition and youth collided in harmony. Later, as the couple appeared on the palace balcony, the cheers from the crowd below grew deafening. King Felipe and Queen Letizia joined the Danish royals beside them, waving to the people, together, as one extended royal family. Fireworks lit up the Copenhagen night sky, their colors mirrored by celebrations erupting in Madrid, Barcelona, Seville, and beyond. But what made this moment truly historic wasn't just the spectacle, it was what it represented for Europe. For centuries, monarchies have symbolized separation, national pride defined by boundaries. But today, Princess Leonor and Prince Christian showed the world something profoundly different, that unity can be born from the heart. Their love story began quietly, two young royals meeting during official visits, bonding over shared values and an understanding of the weight of their futures. Over time, it grew from friendship into partnership. Insiders describe Leonor as graceful but determined, and Christian as grounded and kind. Together, they've become the face of a new era of monarchy, one less about hierarchy, and more about humanity. This wedding has not just captured the imagination of Europe, it has reshaped it. Young people across the continent see Leonor not as a distant royal, but as a modern woman stepping into leadership with heart. Social media has exploded with admiration. The hashtag Leonor and Christian is trending globally, filled with images of their smiles, their vows, and that unforgettable balcony wave. And as the night drew to a close, one final moment sealed the day in history. Before leaving the reception, Leonor reportedly approached her father and whispered, "Thank you for believing in me." King Felipe smiled and replied, "You have made Spain proud, my daughter, not as a princess, but as a woman who leads with love." It was a father's blessing, and a monarch's acknowledgement, that the old world and the new had finally met in peace. As dawn broke over Copenhagen, the streets still echoed with music and celebration. Two royal standards fluttered together above the palace, a sight that will forever symbolize this day, the historic union of Princess Leonor de Borbón and Prince Christian of Denmark. A day when two hearts, and two nations, made history. And in the years to come, when people look back on this moment, they will not remember it only for its elegance or its spectacle, but for its meaning. That love, when anchored in respect and courage, can transform even the oldest of traditions. Because today, in 2025, the royal world changed forever, and it did so in the most human way possible. This was the day Europe witnessed a historic royal union.